Okay, so the big updates. My god. This may take a while, so I'm sorry in advance. But basically, I left off with Memorial Day in 2014. And at that time, I mentioned that I was getting new furniture, that my boyfriend at the time, Ethan, was going to stay with us for a week, and how excited I was, and things like that. So, this is where we left off at. My god, there's so much to update, it's crazy. But yeah. So, basically, we did get our furniture, and Ethan came up and spent the week with me. And at first, it was nice, but it was more like a realization that it wasn't going to work out between us. So I ended up breaking up with him later on that summer, just because he's like more of a good friend than like a boyfriend. It's hard to explain, but he understood, and we still talk, and we're still friends, so there's like no hard feelings or anything. So it ended clean, like no arguments or fights or anything like that. So it ended good, so that was nice. I didn't do too much else that summer, besides just normal stuff. Yeah. And then in November, yeah, I had gotten a job working as an overnight stalker at Walmart. And I tell you what, it was the biggest mistake of my life. I swear to God it was. I hate that I worked there, because let's just say that I got bullied a lot from my own coworkers. Not all of them were bad. There were some coworkers that were really nice, but some of them would just say things, and I'm just like, or they'll say something to a manager, and of course the manager takes blame on me because I'm new. So it's just little things like that. It's just the way everyone treated me there, just wasn't very happy there. And how they used to yell at me because I wouldn't be able to get my stuff done. I'm just like, there's like a million things, and I'm always getting called to run the register, which I hated. So it's like, what do you want me to do? I'm not Superwoman. I wish I was. but everyone else can get away with things. But typical corporate. But anywho, yeah. So I just worked there for a few months. But yeah. So fast forward to like December, I got kind of lonely. I missed having a boyfriend. I wanted to meet someone in Pennsylvania because I knew I wasn't going to move back to West Virginia. As much as I do miss it there, sometimes I miss my friends, but it just wouldn't be the same without my dad, and it just would bring back too many terrible memories, and I knew I didn't want to go back ever like I thought I did, but So I So I got on this dating site called Plenty of Fish because, yeah, you probably have heard of it. um, and I've always heard people get like married off of there. So I'm like, well, I mean, I didn't really have high expectations, but I figured that, yeah, maybe I might meet some people, whatever. So I created that in December. And, I had some guys talk to me here and there, but, like, not much was, like, happening. And then I had a guy but he lived, like, on the other side of Pennsylvania. And, I don't know, it just didn't seem like it would work out, so, yeah. So then, I met someone. I think it was after Christmas. No, I think it was right after New Year's. Yeah, it was like, yeah, this is January 2015 now. I met this guy named Paul, and at first he was really nice. I loved that we were into the same things, like comic books and video games and all that nerdy stuff. That awesome nerdy stuff. And I loved that he was really good. Really, dog? That's my dog, Benji. He would bark when I'm trying to make a video. Shut up! Sorry. I can't really control what happens around me, but whatever. So I figured, this would be cool. This ought to work out great. So we talked a lot. We exchanged phone numbers. We talked on the phone. We texted each other. We video chatted through Skype because I figured I'd rather see them through video chat because, I don't know, that way I'm not being catfished. But, so I talked to him on there for a while, and he also worked overnight at Walmart, so we understood each other. We were able to talk to each other during our breaks and stuff, which made it really nice. And he lived in Ohio, which is about an hour drive from where I lived. Yeah. So towards the end of the month, the end of January, we decided to meet in person, and I would go to his house. So he came to pick me up. Of course, he got lost because his phone messed up, and he wasn't able to get the GPS going. And yeah, I was more aggravated by the time he came to pick me up, to be honest. I kind of wanted to hang up on him the way he was yelling at me, which should have been the very first sign that it was all going to go downhill from there, but I was stupid, and I kind of felt bad. I didn't want him to just be lost somewhere in Pennsylvania and not know how to get back home, so yeah, I went with him and spent a couple of days with him, I think, and went back home. And we dated for, I think, 8 to 9 months, maybe, somewhere around there. But I'm just letting you know. So, how long we dated, and it was horrible. He was very, very abusive emotionally, and I think that's the worst kind of abuse you can get. People think that, it's not abuse unless it's physical, unless he hits you, and it's no. It's that emotions and the mental abuse, that's where it just kills you inside, more so than getting hurt, because wounds can heal, but it's really hard to heal wounds in your heart and in your soul. So yeah, but fast forwarding to March 2015, I had gotten a new car, my own car. Most people, they get their own cars when they're 16, after they had gotten their license. Me, I didn't get mine until I was how old was I? 23, turning 24. Yeah. So, but yeah, so my mom exchanged her little blue car for a car that she has now, and then I got a dark blue Chevy Malibu 2007, and it was really nice because it has a button that you click, and it moves the gas pedal and the brakes, yeah, and it moves them forward. So, because I've always had a hard time, because I'm not only big, but I'm also really short. I'm only 5'2". So it's really hard to drive because I'm almost tiptoeing, because I had to sit all the way back in order to get a seatbelt on. Pain in the ass. So it's really nice that it did that. So that was one of the main reasons why I got in that car. And I think I paid $5,000 on it, 5K, yeah. Which I think was a little expensive for that car, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, needed a car. So yeah, so that happened. So I was really happy, so I was able to drive myself to and from work. And then in April, I ended up quitting Walmart. I told them I found a new job, that I wasn't gonna work there anymore, and I wasn't gonna give them a 2 weeks notice because I wanted to say fuck you, but I was being nice and professional. I just told them that I just wasn't able to, but basically, yeah. I just couldn't handle the abuse anymore. I did not want to take 2 more weeks with them at all. It just kept getting worse, and I just was I'm done. I'm done with this store. I'm done with the people in this store. I'm tired of getting humiliated and get treated like shit by fucking assholes. So I'm like, yeah, I'm done. So I quit that, and then I was applying for a really nice pet resort. It was about like a 45 minute drive from home, but I figured, well, since I have a car, I can get there now. But I didn't get any anything until like July, or like late June, early July. But okay, sorry. I had a text, I had to read it. But so yeah, it's pretty much it. So yeah, during our 3 months that me and Paul dated, he already wanted to get an apartment together. And I'm like, dude, we just started seeing each other. Like, because before he met me, he was with a girl for like, I think a year or two or something like that. And then they broke up on Christmas. And, he was engaged, I think. They were living in their own apartment, and then he had to move back to his mom's house. So it was mostly just him wanting to get back to that point of being engaged and living in his own apartment with a girl, and and I'm like, yeah, but unfortunately you're still gonna have to, we still have to work up to it. And plus, I needed to save up some money, because that guy sure knows how to manipulate me and steal like half of my money. Every time I turn around, I was paying for everything all the time. It got to the point where my mom told me, she's like, honey, you need to leave your debit card at home. Don't take it with you. Don't even, take your license, because obviously I always had to drive there. But, but leave my debit card at home. And sometimes I did, just so I could be like, oh, sorry, you can't expect me to pay for it because I don't have my card. So yeah, it was ridiculous. I think I spent $100 one time when I was with him for like a weekend, which is crazy, I know. And I feel so stupid for letting him control me like that. But what can I do? There's nothing I could do at that time, so there was, but I didn't see it because, blind and stupid. But anyways, so I'm sorry, everything's like running through my head, so I'm trying to like remember everything and not make this bad. But so we had like a long talk about that, and what's weird is that I never felt comfortable around him. Even after we dated for 8 months, I didn't feel like I could be myself. Like, there's a difference. When I'm with certain people, I'm like a little bit more quiet and shy, and I kind of like limit myself, I guess, if that makes any kind of sense. For anyone who has social phobia or anxiety would know what I'm talking about. But when I'm around someone that I've known for a while and I feel super comfortable with them, I am silly, goofy, like cheerful, bubbly type, and a complete goofball. But I don't even think I ever got like that with him. If I did, it was like I was in a very, very good mood, but most of the time I just never felt comfortable. It's weird. But yeah, so we dated, and he took control of everything. I always had to talk to him. He always made me feel bad. He always said things that would hurt me, and then I would explain that it hurt, and he would just turn it around to make me the guilty one, even though it was him. So yeah, it's annoying. I think the most annoying part though is when he kept deleting me off of Facebook. I'm just like, really? Dude, like, grow up. It's like, if we have a fight, it doesn't mean you can just delete me off of Facebook. It's like, if you're gonna delete, might as well break up, right? But so sorry, I had to turn that texting off because it keeps repeating itself. Anyways, so what else happened? I'm trying to remember. It's so hard to remember now. even though it was like last year. But yeah, he did hit me once though. I think this is towards the end, like maybe September. It was in the back of the head, and then he threatened to hit me one more time because like I was talking down about myself, which that makes total sense. Oh, someone's talking about us, so let's hit them, make them feel worse. But he had his hand up, and I threatened him. I'm like, go ahead, try me, motherfucker, and see what happens. You do not want to fuck with me. It's like, I've been through enough of my life, and I've dealt with enough of your shit. I just don't give a fuck. I will take you down. He put his hand down, so I figured he would. But yeah, so in July I got that job at the pet resort, which was really, really fun. Some of the girls were there were nice, but some of them were just, I don't know. I keep working with mean people. Like, what is up? It's like, I'm like the nicest person, yet I always seem to work with people who are like mean. I'm just like, you know what? I think it's because I'm fat, isn't it? Fuck you. I seriously do. I seriously think that. As sad as that sounds, and it might not be true, but I swear to God, I think that's it. But anywho, so fast forward, September. Okay, beginning of September. Now this is when shit starts to hit the fan and progressively gets worse, and the mailman's here, so my dog's gonna bark. Yep. Awesome. So, my brother had gotten a job interview at a hotel as a breakfast host, and he was really excited. And shut up, Benji. He was really excited because it's been his dream to work at a hotel. So, Benji, shut up. Oh, God. So, oh God, Benji, you're making me lose my train of thought. Damn dog. Love you though, but you're annoying. Yeah, okay, so this is when I worked till noon. I worked all that morning, and he had his interview shortly after I had gotten off work. So I was on my way home to pick him up, take him to the hotel. So we figured, well, this is perfect because the way my mom works, she also works 45 minutes away, and she works long hours and is only available on weekends. So it's hard for like us to like get a job, with just that car. But since I had a car now, and since he worked mornings, it was easy because I only worked 2 shifts. I only worked either 6:30 to noon or I worked 4 to 10. So either way, it'd be perfect. Perfect hours. Yeah, for the both of us to work. And he could work at his dream job, and I was already working at mine. So, as I was on my way home, there was fresh gravel. And I had gotten into a really bad car accident. What happened was that if there was a sign that just said oil and chips or something like that, but I mean it really wasn't that bad. But past the light down the street from where I worked, it was fresh gravel, and I still think that they should have put that there because it just looked like a road. But as I was trying to slow down, going down a hill, my car skid to the side, and I went up an embankment, and then my car went in the air, and it flipped and rolled over. Like, it did a complete rollover, and then landed back on the wheels after it rolled. So, of course, I am bleeding, and I am, like, scared shitless because being in a car accident is, like, one of my biggest fears. So my biggest fear just came true, and so my first instinct was get out of the car. Don't know if it's gonna explode. I always see that in movies, so I'm always like, just get out of the car, get me out of the car, and the car was totaled. It was totaled. All the glass broke, the windshield caved in, the hood of the car was like in a weird bent position where it's unfixable. and I only had liability. I didn't even have full coverage because I can't afford full coverage. So I wasn't able to get a replacement car or a rental car or anything like that because I didn't have enough money and I didn't have the coverage to cover it. So, and because of that, after I got out of the hospital, I went to work to talk to them about it, and I basically lost my job on the same day. Yay. And my brother had to call the hotel, let them know what happened, and then he wasn't able to go to his interview because he didn't have a right to go there anymore. So that sucked big time. Yeah, because like I said, I had just gotten that car in March of last year and paid 5,000 on it, and then just to get into a wreck and lose it like just a few months, and then lose my favorite job that I loved on the same day. And the manager acted like she didn't even care. I think that's what hurt the most, was the manager acted like she didn't care. Even though there's blood on my shirt and I had a bandage, like, I don't even know if you could see the scars. Well, I could see some, like, right there maybe, but because as soon as my car rolled over, I did this. I did that to protect my face. And my whole arm right here got cut up from the glass. And, it was like all bandaged. All this was bandaged. So even though I came in with a bandage and pictures of the wrecked car, I mean, it wasn't no simple little fender bender. This is a full-blown wreck. And, she's just like, so you're telling me you can't come in this week? I'm like, really? Like, don't make me feel bad about it now. But, you know what's weird, though? Surprisingly, my phone survived. Yeah, this is the same phone, same phone case and everything. Because like I said, my phone was sitting on a, like those bottle things where you put like your drink. And obviously it fell out of the car. And when I found it, it was laying flat like this, like screen flat on the ground, surrounded by broken glass. And I'm like, oh god, my phone's probably broken. The screen's probably all cracked. Look at that. Not a single scratch on it. And, I mean, there's like a tiny little... Oh, you can see a tiny little scratch right there on the case, but even the case is like in perfect condition. And obviously my phone worked. I was able to call my mom and call my brother and call Paul and let him know. And yeah, my phone survived a car wreck, guys. I got more beat up than my phone. Yeah, Nintendo power. So, yeah. So I thought that was pretty great. My phone still works good to this day, too. But yeah, so, anywho. So, yeah, that happened. And then October came around. And, of course, you know, he always reminded me, well, since you're not working, you could at least do that. It's like, fuck you, stop reminding me, you asshole. But we were doing a charity live stream in the first week of November for the Extra Life, which is where you raise money for kids who, you know, had to stay in the hospital, and it helps like give them like games and toys, things like that. I think that's what it's for. But yeah. And we wanted to get more people because we used to run a gaming thing together called Fandango Network. So he wanted me to meet people to get them involved with us in our stream so it could be more interesting, more entertaining, and to get more people to watch and donate and stuff. So the whole month of October I played a lot of Left 4 Dead 2 online on Steam. And then that's how I met my now boyfriend, Sammy. I can't remember what map it was. It might have been Dark Carnival. I'm pretty sure it was Dark Carnival. That or Swamp Fever, but I'm pretty sure it was Dark Carnival. But yeah, I met him. He always saved me from infected. He always came back for me. He never left me behind. He was super nice. And this is October 26th, so this is like 2 days before his birthday, because his birthday's on the 28th. So, yeah, I remember wishing him a happy early birthday and stuff, and everything, and we talked, and then we added each other. Of course, I told him about the stream and everything, so yeah, we just clicked immediately. We became like the bestest friends and talked all the time, and he was just like the coolest guy I've ever met. He was so sweet, and I really liked him a lot. But of course, I didn't really do or say anything because I was in a relationship. Of course, I find out later that Paul was attempting to cheat on me, because I found that he was still on that Plenty of Fish site, and I knew his password, and I got onto his profile, and I found out that he was talking to other girls. So he was basically trying to find a replacement for me, that or whatever, and I'm like, I got so used to it, because I was like, I'm used to only being second best. I'm used to only being just someone who's just there, and until they find someone better. So, yeah. I should have dumped his ass then, but again, I didn't. And we were actually trying to get an apartment. I think I just really wanted to just live out on my own. We found a cute little studio apartment that was perfect for us, and it was in our budget. It was only like $40 a month, no utilities. There was another pet resort like right down the road that was walking distance, and a pet resort. So I'm gonna be working my dream job again. The manager that was there, she sounded so excited to meet me, and everything was going good again. Like, okay, like, she has me for an interview. I'm gonna get this job, and it's gonna be my dream job. It's not just any just random job that, it was my dream job again, and walking distance. I didn't have to worry about having to try to find something overnights or car anymore, and, I was finally gonna live on my own, and, and everything. It's like, yes, finally. And then shit hit the fan again in the beginning of November, because I guess it only took the bastard 9 months to realize he's not in love with me. And I'm like, really? Yeah, okay. To me, I think he just used me because I had money and because I was a piece of ass, even though shut up, just shut up, haters. But yeah, I honestly think that because he knew I would do anything in the world for him. I was gullible, I was nice, and he walked all over me, and I let him. So, yeah, so we ended up breaking up, and of course I was devastated, because even though I took a lot of abuse from him, but I was devastated because I felt that I had lost the love of my life. And he told me, well, I'll always care about you, I'll always be there as a friend, and we'll always be friends. And I was like, okay. So, I think, so like mid-November, I was very, very depressed, and it wasn't because of just him, it was like everything else that was happening in fall that was just took me over the edge. I mean, I've always had a rough patch, and for me, whenever something good happens and I'm happy, something always bad happened to take it away. Always. It never fails. It's almost like, what's the point of being happy, because it'll just get taken away shortly after, and that's just how I felt. And sometimes I still feel that way, because bad things still happen, but that would be another video. But anywho, so I got so depressed that I became suicidal and attempted suicide. Of course, it was, like I said, it was never him. I would never kill myself over a guy. Never. But, especially for a guy like him, he was an asshole. But, I mean, whatever. So, I'm trying to think. And of course, I shut myself out from my mom and my brother because, he put so much shit in my head that, it got to me. And he was even going to have it where if we got that apartment, he would never let them come see me. And I'm like, no, we're not having that. You can't break that bond. It's like, if you don't like my family, that's on you. I really wish you would, but If not, then, you can just leave whenever they come. But you're not going to stop them from coming to see me if they want to see me. Fuck you. Family comes first. But, anywho, so, uh, so I held all that anger because I couldn't talk to anybody about it. I couldn't talk to my friends. I couldn't talk to my mom. So I was trying to make him look good. And I had to lie for him a lot. And I just held all that anger and sadness inside that it literally broke me. And I got to a breaking point, and I knew I needed help. And I felt at the time that he was the only one that could save me. He was the only one that could stop me from killing myself. So I texted him, and I guess he thought that I was trying to say that I don't know, he must have thought it differently, but he pretty much called me a psycho and told me to stop seeking attention and said a bunch of other mean things. And I'm just like, dude, get over yourself. This isn't about you. I'm only texting you because you're the only one that can save me. You're the only one that I think that can actually stop me. And I'm not doing it because of you. I'm doing it because of other things. Like the car wreck, the job, and everything else. And plus, my mom moved, so now we live here. And again, it's a 2-bedroom apartment, so I don't have a room still. And, we didn't have Wi-Fi anymore because I couldn't afford it. There's nothing walking distance for jobs. There's nothing. And can't even take a bus because no buses come through here or even close through here. So it was very, very bad. So I ended up grabbing a blade from a box cutter, and I slit my wrist. And I don't think you can see it anymore. No, I don't think the camera's picking it up. But it's like, I can't even see, it's like right there. But it's really hard to see. But yeah, and I texted my friend about it, and I think and she called the police. Of course, my mom was furious. I guess she thought that I was seeking attention. It's like, why do people think that? It's like, maybe they're saying that because they kind of want help. They want someone to save them. They want someone to care enough to help them and save them. And I'm grateful for Marcy for, she practically did. She called the cops because it showed that she obviously cared and worried about me. And, I'm grateful for that. And after a while, I still thank her, for doing what she did for me. But anywho, so the cop, suggested me go to the hospital. So I go to the hospital, and I go to the psychiatric unit, where I stayed for like 3 to 4 days, like 3 nights, and I went home on the 4th day. So at first I hated it. I did not want to be there, and I told myself that, I'm not here to socialize. I'm not here to make any friends. I'm just here to get through the medication, or take my medication, and just get this done and over with. But of course I changed. I ended up becoming friends with everybody. But it was just nice because I couldn't have my phone, obviously. So with being away from him, not hearing all of his negativity, and just being away and just focusing on myself and positivity and happiness, that I just felt better. I felt like a huge weight was lifted off my shoulders, and it was just a great feeling. And it felt so good to let everything out, to tell everybody what he did and the things he said to me and the things he'd done. It just felt nice to be able to actually finally talk about things like that, where I held it in for so long. So yeah, and it was, like I said, it was great. And my roommate made me a bracelet and a necklace and a little drawing, like those window art things, and it was really pretty. It's really pretty. Yeah, so I was really happy. So the 4th day I went home, and I felt better. I mean, I still got sad, I still cried, and I still got depressed because I missed him, but obviously I wasn't able to have connection with him anymore, and he blocked me pretty much on everything. He blocked me on Facebook, blocked me on everything, but in a way, you know what, I'm glad he did, because I don't need to talk to him anymore, and I don't want to talk to him. I don't even want to see him. I'm glad he lives an hour away, because if I were to see him, I would probably kick him in the balls, because he put me through fucking hell. And, you know, and I just, it was more like a realization, too, that he never really cared, because if he did, he wouldn't have said what he did. Especially after saying, well, you know what, don't come to my funeral, or don't come to the hospital, I don't want you there. And, you know, it's like, I'm actually gonna do it, you asshole. And it's like, you know, and I hope he feels guilty. I hope to God he feels guilty. But you know what, cold-hearted people like him don't feel guilty at all, so. But anyways, well, at least I can stop hearing about his ex all the time. That was annoying. And ironically, I am friends with her. Pretty much almost everything he told me about her was a lie. And me and her, we talk. We're like friends now. And it's just so funny. And I know he stalks our Facebook, so I hope, I mean, he probably won't see me since he did block me, but it's gonna be so funny when he does find out that I am friends with her and that I talk to her on a daily basis now. And it's and we were able to share like, oh, I went through this too, and you know, and everything. So he's just a terrible person. I hope he does not get a girlfriend for a long time until he learns how to treat women, because he has issues. But anywho, enough talk about him now, finally. So, November 2015. I am talking to Sammy, and we had started dating November, but it, like I said, it just wasn't up to, I don't know how to explain it really, but at first I was really nervous because I felt that it was a little bit too soon after my breakup, and I didn't want, you know, him to feel bad because I was still thinking about him and missing him, and I thought that, you know, wasn't fair to him. But I really, really liked him a lot, and I was falling more and more for Sammy every day, and I didn't care about long distance because to me, love conquers distance. It does. And he pretty much saved me in more ways than one. He helped me get over Paul. He helped me with my depression and all the stress I've been going through, because he's so sweet. And I'm not used to it. Sometimes I'm just like, I'm not used to someone being so kind to me, especially a guy. But he is extremely, like, the most amazing person ever. Maybe because he's Canadian. Something about them Canadians, man. And not only that, he's a French Canadian, so he's fluent in French, and I melt like a puddle of butter. I love it. He's shy when he speaks French, but oh my god, I love it. Anywho, as far as our relationship goes, someday we want to move together in Ontario, because I've always wanted to live in Canada. So that is my goal in the future, after college, of course, because I do want to go to Animal Behavior College for a veterinary assistant. So yeah, sorry, I got a message. So yeah, we dated, things are going great, and February or March comes around of this year, 2016, and yeah, and he bought plane tickets because we were originally going to meet in Niagara Falls, but because I couldn't find a job, I ended up he ended up coming to visit me there. I couldn't get that out. So in June he spent 2 weeks with me, and it was the best 2 weeks of my entire life. And it's just, here's a picture of me and him together. Oops. But yeah. And he's so cute. He's really really skinny, so that's why I was surprised he would like someone like me, considering I'm a big girl. But he, he treats me like a queen. He makes me feel beautiful and sexy, even though I don't feel like I'm not sometimes. But I can tell that he really is attracted to me, and sometimes it's hard for me to realize that because of how I am and how I feel about myself that I'm trying to work on. But yeah, and he's really supportive, and he's just amazing. And our 1 year is coming up really really soon. In a couple of days it'll be 1 year since we met, and then next month will be 1 year since we dated, and I'm so happy. I was gonna visit him in the winter, but with me being how I am right now, I just wouldn't be able to fly on a plane right now. So he's gonna come visit me again in the summer. So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, so yeah, I mean, summer was really great. I had gotten a job interview at Giant Eagle for an overnight stocking position. Except the job was super super easier than Walmart. It was way easier. And so I was excited, like things were going good. Sammy was there. I went to Lake Erie for the first time, had a wonderful time there, and I gotten a job, and things were good. And then of course again in the fall things went to shit, and I ended up losing my job at Giant Eagle for like the stupidest reason ever. My mom everybody thinks it's bullshit. Like, I mean, I never did anything bad, so something bad. It has to do with a health reason, but it's embarrassing, so I kind of don't want to say what it was. But it's just something that should have been off as a warning. I can see if I had never got my job done, but every night I always got my job done. I always worked fast, I always worked hard, I always helped everyone whenever they needed my help. I never missed work. I consider myself as a good worker, so. But since they're all guys, they're probably just looking for someone who's hot. Because men, except for Sammy. Sammy's probably the only decent guy out there. But yeah, so and the way that guy said, some old guy, because I was clocking into work and I was getting ready to down stack, because we always do down stacking, and then I get called in the office and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Of course. And then whenever I say that, he goes, maybe this job is too physical for you. And I'm like, what? Are you saying that to me? Like, excuse you, asshole. It's like, first off, I didn't ask to be like this. I had health issues that caused me to be overweight. And, I'm not lazy. I don't just sit around all day and eat. I exercise, I walk, I do. And as far as the work, that job is not barely physical at all. I mean, yeah, my feet would hurt a lot, but, other than that, it wasn't a hard job. I've had much worse, harder labor when I worked at the pet resort, when I was scrubbing and cleaning all the time. It was way much harder work compared to what I did. And I'm like, seriously? Like, to me, that's discrimination, but whatever. I don't care anymore at this point. I'm done with people in general. I'm done with work. But, so right now, Mom just told me, you know what, just focus on your diet and exercise, because in a few months, I'll be getting my weight loss surgery, and after my weight loss, maybe then I can look for a job. But for now, I'm just going to focus on my weight loss. And yes, I had decided to get weight loss surgery, and I'm going to explain that in another video. But this was an update, and I'm sorry it is so fucking long. But like I told you, there was a lot to talk about, a lot to explaining to do. So yeah, so that's pretty much what happened the past couple of years. Eventful, right? I'm pretty sure I've left out lots more, but that's pretty much what happened. And I still get depressed, but I don't get suicidal anymore, mostly because of Sammy, who is just my angel, my phoenix. He's been helping me out so much, and he's the one that gifted me with this promise ring. So, yeah. And it's beautiful. I love it. So, I can't wait to marry him. I mean, I am in love with him. Like, I know I mentioned that I was in love before, but I mean, I can feel is true love. He's literally my soulmate. Like, we have this thing called soul bond where we it's funny because we always think alike. We're like twins. We always think the same. We always say the same thing at the same time. So we always say, soul bond. It's really cute, but he makes me really, really happy, and I just want to, yeah, be a good girlfriend to him. Like, he's been a wonderful boyfriend to me, and I know someday he'll make a great husband. And we've actually already talked about our like wedding and stuff, like zombie themed wedding and things like that. It'll be so much fun. We have so much in common, and the funny thing is I feel comfortable with him. I can be myself, and I was able to feel that way like after a few months of dating him, maybe even a couple of months of dating him. Like, I don't feel shy around him at all, like I did with my ex. I feel so comfortable. Like, I could be myself and be silly and goofy and happy, and so yeah, okay, so I'm done before this gets too long. But yeah, that's my updates. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm sorry I was lacking on videos. I promise I won't do that as much anymore, especially now when I can do this. It'll be so much easier. But yeah, so stay tuned. I'm gonna be talking about weight loss surgery and talking about my pre-op and all that jazz. So stay tuned. Bye, guys.